Ross Sorkin and Sarah Eisen sit down with world business leaders on the geopolitical outlook and key global economic issues. The Ultimate Power Summit. Special reports all day. CNBC.
I find it challenging to come up with a gift that's really impactful, something that really makes a difference. Jolie has been a tremendous gift. It's something that is not only looks beautiful, but makes us feel amazing, and is something that we get to use every day.
Structured settlement, and I call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877.
Call 877 cash now to get a $100 gift card for a free quote.
We're back with senior markets commentator Mike Santoli at the desk. How do you read today's trade?
Well, after 6 days of very, very strong breath, where you really had the majority of stocks doing a lot of the work on the upside, probably needed a rest. You have the banks that were on an upward sprint. They're down 1%. The way you get to the old record highs in the S&P is to have the AI trade just kick back in again. So it's almost like you would draw it up in terms of trading off strength, allowing parts of the market to cool off a little bit. So that's been, I think, a net positive. I don't think you have a real economic message in the fact that market breadth is negative today, except that it's just been very strong for a while. But also, yields ticking higher. That's been where the yield story has really played out, has been in terms of the average stock as opposed to the index. So as to whether, this is kind of a last little lunge higher to get to the old highs, and now we have the real test, I'm not really sure. The market seems back in gear. We did have a good downward reset in optimism that I think can be rebuilt or is being rebuilt from here.
We do, risk to some degree another ramp into all of these earnings next week,
Yes,
right? So,
definitely.
okay, now you better put up to justify what we just witnessed.
Also have a potential ramp into the Fed meeting, and I don't think the stakes are really that high in terms of the economy. But when they don't cut rates, and you have a president that probably wanted them to cut rates, or at least wants to make that declaration, I don't think that the market should get upset about that. But if it's looking for an excuse, if it's kind of out on a distant perch and needs to come back, that might be something to keep in mind as well.
All right, I'll see you on closing bell. That's Mike Santoli, our senior markets commentator. We have another move from Weiss to document today. We'll take a quickie, and we'll come back, and we'll tell you what it is.
Morning, everyone. Ready for the big meeting?
I have to write this project plan.
I just need to reply to 40 emails. Linda? Oh, their date disappeared. Too many emails, messages, docs. That's why I have Grammarly. It's AI that helps me write faster and better everywhere. IT just cleared it for the whole company.
I was lost in the dock.
Grammarly for Business. Enterprise-ready AI.
You're a small business owner. You don't have time to waste. That's why you go to Biz2 Credit for funding. Our simple application makes it easy to get fast financing. Time for funding? It's time for Biz2 Credit.
After last month's massive solar flare added a 25th hour to the day, businesses are wondering, what should we do?
I'm thinking company-wide power nap.
Anything can change the world of work. From HR to payroll, ADP designs for the next anything.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
What if there was a cruise that felt like no other? A cruise created by foodies, for foodies. One chef for every 10 guests. Every meal prepared to order, and every plate a personal discovery. Welcome to the world of Oceania Cruises. The world's greatest cities and off-the-beaten-path secrets. One memorable bite and toast at a time. It's more than a feeling. It's more than a cruise. It's Oceania Cruises.
Assured Guaranty's bond insurance was protecting investors in municipal green bonds before they were even called green bonds. Assured Guaranty, a stronger bond.
Okay, guys, instead of getting WeatherTech, I saved a few bucks and got some cheap foreign-made floor mats. But they really stink, so put these on.
Really, Billy? Mom, I'm thirsty.
Don't settle for cheap, stinky floor mats. At WeatherTech, we make our floor liners and cargo liners here in America out of pure, non-toxic American materials.
Dad, next time get WeatherTech. They don't stink.
I'm on it. Find out everything we have at WT.com.
With the Fundrise Flagship Fund, you can invest in the same kind of real estate investments that have powered the world's largest portfolios for decades. Start growing your real estate portfolio today with the Fundrise Flagship Fund.
At Enterprise Mobility, we never stop looking for new mobility solutions. Because sometimes the best road forward is the one you didn't expect.
Hey, Shannon, interesting note today. Bank of America, its client flows, 11th week of buying in stocks, record healthcare inflow. What do you think of that space in this year ahead? It's been such a disappointment.
Such a disappointment. And we love healthcare. We really liked it last year. We were overweight for the whole year. I think, Scott, it's, there's two areas that are still a little challenging in healthcare. Obviously, pharma. You talked about everything that's going to be deregulatory, now regulation on drug prices. And you also have, managed care really struggling to figure out what that medical loss ratio is going to look like. Outside of that, though, Scott, you've got biotech, you've got services, you have increased procedure volume, and you have a demographic tailwind. So I think, and valuation is, this is where you can find, some really cheap value quality stocks.
All right. Weiss, you bought more UNH.
I did. Still a small position, but the stock got hit as tech moves up, and it's down today. So part of it is that I believe it's cheap. I believe they will figure it out and are the leader in healthcare. Healthcare is not going to do well without UNH doing well. They do have to get their MLR, medical loss ratio, under control. Took a hit last quarter. That's to be expected with the V28 regulations came in last year and this year. So bottom line is, I think it's a cheap stock that has been a permanent compounder. I don't see that changing. And also, it's a hedge, frankly, against my technology portfolio.
Intuitive Surgical, speaking of, the broader space, reports tomorrow, record high today. You own it.
Artificial intelligence playing a role here. You need to see profit margins well into the upper 60s, talking about revenue somewhere around $2.26 billion. American Express also reports tomorrow. You own that? High expectations for sure on this name. EPS growth, mid double digits, 15-16%. Street's expecting revenue coming in somewhere around 10%. Credit card environment's a good one.
What do you think about Amex?
I think it's been a phenomenal story. And when you talked about the perks they lost, like the mileage perks, which we used it for all the others, and yet they've just grown and grown and grown. So management team, the new management team, the old management team, doing a tremendous job. And you have no reason to believe it's not going to be a good quarter, given the spending for the top half of the consumers, which we've seen some of the retailers that reported already.
All right. We will take a break. We'll come back with finals. We'll do it next.
Yeah.
Are you following the Halftime Report podcast? What are you waiting for? Look for us in your favorite podcasting app. Follow the Halftime Podcast now.
At Interactive Brokers, independent RIAs work with the best research and trading tools designed to help them outperform the markets. Meet